Welcome back to another episode of Unlearned and Reborn, a podcast where old habits are unlearned and new ones are reborn. One therapist said something so nice. She was like, I know, I'm telling you one day at a time. She's like, but honestly, honey, you might not even be able to do one day at a time. You might be able to have to do a minute. Go for 1 minute, watch the clock go to the next minute. Take your time doing this task and let the minutes, just do what they do. They're going to pass. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Another episode. Welcome back. You know what we do here. When I say welcome back, you know what comes after. A round of applause. You know that. You literally know that. It happens every time. I'm so happy you guys are here. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How y'all feeling? Y'all seem to be doing all right, but if I'm wrong, leave a comment down below and let me know how you feel. How's the podcast been doing for you? I appreciate all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Today's podcast is a good one. We are going to really sit down and really have a candid conversation about therapy. Do you guys go to therapy? Listen, I need you to let me know. How do you feel about therapy? If you're watching on YouTube, I'm asking you, stop what you're doing. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about therapy. If you're following me on Facebook and you see this post about the pod dropping, comment and let me know your therapy story. If you like therapy, you don't really like therapy. If you're in therapy, when did you start going? Because today's pod, I'm going to let you know the nitty gritty about my therapy journey. Y'all ready? Come on. So I started going to therapy in 2018 due to a traumatic event that I'll talk about on another podcast, possibly. But that event led me to the start of my depression. I really knew nothing intensely about depression. I don't think I had ever experienced it on a level knowledgeable. Maybe I had like bits and pieces of small depression throughout like school and high school and stuff like that, but I never really called it depression, if that makes sense. The word depression was I didn't really hear it a lot, growing up. I definitely am glad that mental health is something that is a lot more prevalent in today's society than it was when we were in school. It was always the stereotype of the emo kids being the ones that were dealing with things, and the person that dresses like this was dealing with things. But now, we've seen it time and time again of beautiful people being broadcasted on Channel 6 News, and they're smiling, they're in their sports uniforms, they're with their beautiful families, and we're mourning the loss of them. So I definitely want to take time today to talk about therapy and to really just invite y'all in on a conversation. No judgment zone. Like I stated, in 2018 is when I first embarked on my journey of therapy. It is now 2020, and guess what? I'm still in therapy. I definitely do believe here soon, probably towards the end of the year, I definitely believe that I will go on more of a 6-month check-in. Right now I've upgraded to once a month because y'all, I was doing therapy, I think on a weekly basis when I originally first got started. So like I said, 2018 is when I started therapy, changed bases, got married, came to Georgia, and I started therapy. Looking back, of course, like I said, I wasn't really aware of these terms, but looking back, I would definitely say I was 10 out of 10, a high functioning depressive person. Growing up and even throughout grade school, I prided myself on my achievements of academics. Anybody that went to school with me, I am still that girl. Don't forget it. But no, I was definitely all about the books and the social life. And I really, really prided myself on the academia of school. I would say I'm a high achiever. I don't like the word perfectionist for me personally, because I kind of feel like being a high achiever, I was labeled a perfectionist. I do believe I definitely had a stage of perfectionism, but majority of it, I believe it was me being a high achiever. And if you have never experienced a high achieving person, it can come off as a perfectionism, because they're just like we're not. I feel like the main difference is I'm not fixated anymore on a L. Like if I get an L, okay, I know I tried and I gave it my all, but I'm not going to just give up after the first try. Like I'm going to continue to pursue until I get my dub, if that makes sense. So, like I said, a high functioning depressive, but I didn't really know that then. And I just remember after the traumatic event, I think it was like the next day, I was driving in my car to Alexis Spight. Shout out to her. I'm going to meet this girl one day because I need to give her a hug because this girl saved my life. Alexis Spight, Live Right Now. Check it out on Apple Music or wherever you listen to your music. I'm telling you, this song really, really captivated my heart. And I remember driving in Montana. The roads were pitch black, y'all. I was driving irresponsibly fast, like ridiculously fast on a road. Couldn't see anything because it was pitch black, because at the time I believe it was like wintertime, I want to say. And I mean, I'm driving and I'm just crying. I'm crying to this song. And in the song, she goes on to say, man, I wish I had I know that, girl, listen, Alexis, I know your song. I promise I do. But I just can't think of the words. But pretty much the chorus is saying, so I'm gonna live right now. And I'm playing this, y'all, and on my mind, I want to wreck this car and flip it over as many times as I can. So living is not what I'm thinking about at all. But I just find that it was so ironic that I got in my car, I just pulled up my music, and this was the first song that popped up, and I remember just putting it on repeat, and I listened to this song for weeks. Like this was the only song I would listen to, like just over and over and over again. So fast forward from 2000. I said I started in 2018, which is true. But before I actually got like into that 2018 therapy, I actually ended up going inpatient to a mental institution in 2018. It was March 2018. You guys, I spent my 22nd birthday at a mental institution. What? It was a very, it was a lonely experience. Honestly, I remember I called my mom and I was shocked that she answered. And she was like, hello? And I was just like, hey, Mom. And she was like, what? Mamas be knowing. She's like, what's going on? What's wrong? And I just told her, like, yeah, I'm calling you from a mental institution. And I know she was taken aback. So let me just pause here and put a pin here. And I'm going to do that a lot throughout this episode. So just bear with me. But it's all for the bigger picture. I want to put a pin in this because oftentimes, and I saw it on social media, I was just talking to someone on their post and they had a viewpoint that I didn't necessarily agree with because of the blame I felt like that was getting put on the significant other, because the girlfriend ended up committing suicide, taking her own life and passing away. If you can go on this journey with me throughout this podcast, let's be more kind to the people that are left behind. So when that person, say I did end up going through with my attempt and I was successful, I would not have wanted my husband to be at fault because I was fed up with my life. At that point, I definitely had, I think I may have reached out to get a therapist, and I was seeing a therapist on the military installation, but I just didn't feel like it was really doing much for me. I was still at work. I was still being triggered by, just that work atmosphere, because I was, just around things that I just wanted to just go to sleep and just go to sleep for a very, very long time. I just always felt like I was constantly tired. I never really got the full sleep. 8 hours, what is that? I probably got 2 hours, and then I would get back up and do the same thing over again. So I just wanted to take a pause because I feel like oftentimes it really breaks my heart to see people blame the significant other or like the best friend, like, girl, you could have done so much more. Let me tell you something. When my mind was made up that this life, I was done with this life, baby, I was done with this life. And honestly, like I was talking to my husband, I said, I'm so grateful that you stuck with me through all of this, but I want you to know that at the end of the day, all the I love yous, there's nothing you can do to stop a person whose mind is made up. And it's a sad reality, it really is, but I really would like for y'all to be more kind to people, because that is a lot of pressure for that person to have to live with, that they now have the blame of someone else's decision, okay? So just try to do that for me, please, because that's something that's hard to be able to live with. Like, you're already mourning the loss of your loved one, and now you have people blaming you for that. So just be kind. So press play. Okay, so me calling my mom, right? And she prayed with me, and she was just like, what happened? What's going on? And I think I kind of told her a little bit, of what was going on. But, my own mom had no idea that I was dealing with this thing so intensely. Wasn't sleeping, probably barely even eating. And I'm so grateful for the husband that I have, because oftentimes when people are going through, when I was going through my depressive mode, my biggest factor of suffering silently was that I did not want to be a burden to somebody else. Yeah. How many of y'all feel like that? Like, I don't want to be that burden, like, but you're so heavy in your heart and your chest, and you're just like, I cannot imagine telling anybody else this, because I cannot even get this own thing off my chest. I'm telling you, we can put another pin here in the pod. I'm here for you. I'm supportive of you, because, and I'll even touch on the takeaways towards the end of the pod. But listen, it's a lot to put on one person to be your saving grace. And that's what I was doing. I was putting all of my, my trauma, I was putting all of my pain, my hurt, everything I was feeling inside of my heart, my depression, and I would pour it out to my husband, and he was listening. But I also feel like it was a bit selfish of me, because my husband is not a professional. He's not a medical professional. He is a professional husband. He can listen, and he knows me, and he would hug me. And there would be many nights where I would just sit there and cry. I couldn't even talk. But at the end of the day, it took a toll on my husband. As I came out of it, and it was, months and months of me fully, really, really doing the work and really coming out of that depression, I realized that my own husband was depressed. And it's like I couldn't even be there for him. So I even had to mourn that process. Like, he was there for me and I couldn't do the same. So just be kind, y'all. Be kind, because even though you are dealing with your trauma, you are dealing with your story, someone else is going through too. And it could be someone that is so close to you that you can touch them. They are going through too. We are all going through. So if we can do one thing, take one step at a time, the first thing that we can do is be kind to each other and just do what we can. If you can be on the phone for 6 hours at a time while your homegirl is crying her heart out, absolutely. I know for me, I cannot. You probably got a max of 2 hours out of me before I'm like, okay, girl, okay, sis, I'm gonna have to call you back because, somebody's calling me. But I will express that. I'll try my best to verbally communicate. I can do and be that friend for you where I can. But we have to be careful that we are not setting unrealistic expectations on people, that because they are our spouse, our homegirl, our girlfriend, our parent, our grandparent, that we expect them to be able to carry our load. That's not fair. So if you're doing that and you find yourself doing that, I'm going to need you to press pause real quick and really evaluate, can this person truly handle this? 1, is it fair for me to drop this load off on them like this? 2, and 3, if you said no to either one of those, okay, we got to get some professional help, because, them carrying around your stuff, that can cause a shift in their own life. Just be balanced and try your best to be considerate, Be balanced. And you'll have those people as you go through life. You'll find those people that are your people that you're able to talk to and really pour your heart out to, non-judgmentally. But, just be careful that, you're making sure that they get their necessary rest, because mental health, it can be draining. It really can. I also wanted to touch on the fact that happiness has this look, right? I have a picture, and I don't know if I can post it here on YouTube so y'all can look, but definitely when I upload this episode, I'll be sure to include this picture with that episode so y'all can see the picture I'm talking about. But it was a picture from May 29th, 2021. I had to go back on Facebook to find it. And the caption said, "This is happiness." You guys, May 29th, 2021 was probably the last time that I remember that day. I remember this immense sadness I felt that day. And that day was supposed to be my last day here. I remember it. I remember that day, like, I can't remember exactly what I had planned out or how to do it, but I knew for sure that was the day, and that was going to be the last picture that I posted, and it was going to have the cap. And I remember that. And I think I was just going through my Facebook. I was just on Facebook. And then this year, May 29th, 2022, I love Facebook memories. Even though it can show us some painful things, y'all, it is a beautiful thing when you can see your new self can see your old skin. Like, yes. So when that thing had popped up, y'all, I was blown away. I believe I cried looking at that. And I just remember God saying, like, remember this? I think we often forget, like when we're living the high of our lives and we're living through our accomplishments, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm so excited for all the accomplishments I have. This podcast is doing amazing. It's growing on YouTube. It's growing on the streaming platforms. I'm blessed. I'm grateful for that. But I remember being so low. Why would anybody want to listen to me talk? Why would anybody want to hear my story? I remember those times. And seeing that picture, y'all, and I was smiling. You would have never known that me pressing post on that picture was going to be the last picture that I ever intended for the world to see. And here I am, fast forward over a year later. And I can reflect on that, and I don't even feel sadness like I used to. Honest to God, I don't. I feel pride. Like I feel like accomplishment, achievement, that is my past. That is my then. And the Shania now, she is like cheering, clapping up for that version of me that was in that picture, because that version of me said, okay, we gonna have to do something different. We gonna have to change. And I'm pretty sure that's when I kind of started a small routine in the gym, and I kind of started going, because I remember April 2021 is when I kind of definitely really play on the gym and really started going more consistently. I'm definitely in a rhythm now, but more consistently than just once every now and again. And she would be so proud. Like I know I'm proud. Even just sitting here and filming in my office and just looking at myself in this lens, y'all, I am so proud to be here. I am so glad that I did not give up, y'all, because imagine had I given up. There would be no Unlearned Reborn podcast. There would be no Unlearned Reborn YouTube channel. There would be none of that. And y'all wouldn't even be able to hear this, me speaking in this mic right now. Like it was meant, yeah. My life could have easily went another way. But I'm telling you, like I gave God a chance. I'm like, okay, God, I know you, but I just need you to do me one thing. If you can bring me out of this state that I'm in, I promise you. I'm riding with you. I'm doing it. I promise you. You know, I even feel a sense of gratitude even towards the process. And I would hear people in interviews say, you know, and I would never change anything I ever went through. And I would be like, girl or sir, yes, you would. You lost that $1 million. You did this. And it's like I'm at a point in my life, y'all, where I understand. I would not change it, because me changing it or taking away this and adding more success here, adding less heartbreak here. I don't, every heartbreak, every medication I had to get on and get off, that thing really helped me. It helped me become who I am today. You know, even throughout my therapy journey, I have seen many therapists, y'all. Like, I think I had a male therapist at one point, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely need a female therapist, because there's just some things I feel like I want to discuss that I'd rather have a female. And I mean, I've seen a lot of therapists. So shout out to my therapists that I've seen and shook hands with along the way, whether it be telehealth or in person. Like, y'all have something to do with this. I believe that God puts people like therapists on this planet so that we can have the help we need, the tangible help we need. Yes, he gives us our spiritual health. Absolutely. I also believe that he gives people certain intelligences to be able to go to school and get degrees to help us, and like literally tangible, natural. I can touch my therapist's hand type stuff, so I'm so blessed and I'm so thankful for them, because they would always say, you're just so intelligent, you're so self-aware, and you really have something in you. And I used to be like, girl, I don't want to hear that. Why are you saying that? And it's like, they saw something in me, and I could not even see. I used to some sessions, y'all, I would just go in there and just cry. I wouldn't even be able to talk. And it's like, look at me now. Y'all, therapy, we need it. We need it. There's nothing wrong with therapy. I used to be anti-therapy. I'm not crazy. No, you're right. You're not crazy. You just need somebody to talk to. I definitely believe that therapy, it helps. It goes such a long way, because I just needed someone initially, I just wanted someone to listen. But the more I started talking more and opening more up in therapy, I needed someone to validate the experiences that I had. Because like I said, I've dealt with some trauma, childhood trauma, adulthood trauma. And I just needed to know that was just not going to be my life forever. Like, I remember telling my therapist, like, I was in so much pain that my body physically hurt. Like, my heart literally ached. My body would ache. There would be days I could not even get out of the bed. Like, I would be aching, legitly aching. And I just remember them telling me, like, one day at a time. And y'all, one therapist said something so nice. She was like, I know, I'm telling you one day at a time. She's like, but honestly, honey, you might not even be able to do one day at a time. You might be able to have to do a minute. Go for 1 minute, watch the clock go to the next minute. Take your time doing this task and let the minutes, just do what they do. They're going to pass. And y'all, I literally, some days I would have to take it. Okay, so I ate a meal. If I could just make it to lunchtime. And on the harder days, I would say, okay, if I could just make it to the next second. If I can just make it to the next minute. And then the seconds turn to minutes. The minutes turn to hours. Hours turn into days. Days turn into weeks. Weeks to months. Months to years. And here I am today. Like, it was a step. I'm so grateful that I took that step in 2018, y'all, because even though it seemed like turmoil and chaos in between, I met beautiful people along the way. I gained some amazing friends. Like I said, the many therapists I saw, I gained life experience. Like, how you get a job and they like, your resume is so amazing, but you don't have any experience, bud. And you're like, yeah, because I just spent 4 years getting experience by giving y'all my money and getting this paper a degree. And they're like, yeah, but we're looking for somebody with 6 years of experience. And you're like, well, how am I supposed to have 6 years of experience if I just spent 4 years at the schoolhouse? Explain it. So that's how I kind of feel about therapy. It gives you the experience to deal with life. We all know that life is hard, but I also feel like you can win at life. I know oftentimes like we get caught up in the life is hard, this and that. But if you do it right, life can be won. And y'all, I'm winning right now. How are you winning? I need some help. How are you winning? I got you. I'm winning because I decided to take responsibility for the parts that belong to me. The parts that I caused. Like I talked earlier about the trauma, definitely didn't cause the trauma, but what happened after the trauma, me sitting in it and soaking in it for all those years, oh yeah, that's on me. That's on me. Expecting the perpetrator to be able to feel something in themselves and some type of remorse, yeah, that's on me. It's a hard pill to swallow, and it takes time to even get to that point to speak how I speak. But I know once I fully said, you know what, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I said, I don't care if I have to take it one step at a time. And I just go to the gym just to sit. There would be times, y'all, because I was so stressed and I had so much anxiety about even getting outside again. After I got released from the mental institution, there would be times where I would just drive by Planet Fitness and I would say, I'm going to be able to go inside one day. I would just drive or I would just go on Planet Fitness and I would be so like awkward and embarrassed about even being in there working out. And I would just say, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just do a little workout or just be in there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And I built up that confidence. I built up that stride. What they say, you got skin in the game? I built up skin in the game because I took a chance and I bet on me. I said, I've been betting on so many things in life that don't matter. These things have no value. Because when I was down in that mental institution and I couldn't call people outside of having access to the phone, it was me, God, and them other people that was up in there. And shoot, them other people that them people was talking to, because some people was in there talking to themselves. I said, okay, I got to bet on me. Like being in that room, I remember I said, okay, I got to change. And it was then, and I'm not lying to y'all. No, me just saying, okay, I'm going to bet on myself. I didn't just start betting on myself. No, life continued to happen to me. But like I said, May 29th, 2021, when I posted that picture and I decided and I woke up, I don't know how many days May got, so don't drag me. But, let's, May 31st, maybe it has 31 days. Anyways, the next day or the next day after that, and I said, you know what? I want to be here. I want to live. I want to continue to create my life here. That is when I was like, okay, no matter the cost, I'm going to bet on myself. And I didn't know the cost benefit analysis of it. I really didn't. I didn't. But I knew how I was living life at the moment, I said, yeah, whatever this risk is, bet on yourself. It gotta be better than this, because at least I'm saying I believe in myself enough for me to go get some help. I would love for the viewers and the listeners to take away from this is get help. Get help. We have lost so many people in our military. We have lost so many people in schools, people that, and it's sad because when the news breaks, all you see is the pages being flooded with people saying how amazing and beautiful this person was, how kind they were, their smile, their laugh. And it's just like, I would get so sad reading those, because I remembered when I did not want to be here, y'all, I was so convinced that people would not miss me. You will be missed. I know you can't see past where you're at right now, but you will be missed. I mean, to see people's parents mourn over them, their friends, their teachers. Oh, he was such a great kid. I had him in kindergarten. I saw one lady posting saying she had this boy in kindergarten. He was so polite. I remember him. Y'all make impacts on people's lives. Don't give up. Don't give up. Somebody here is going to miss you. Somebody here is going to remember that smile, that laugh you have, that quirkiness about you, that style. Somebody going to remember that. And we don't want you to go too soon. I'm not ready. I know if something were to happen to my siblings, my parents, my best friend, I would be devastated. So if no one has told you or you're unsure, I would love to see you here. I would love to see you back for another episode of the pod. How about that? I really would. I would love to see you here. Don't press stop yet. Press pause if you have to. Remember the old school VCRs? I remember I used to watch Blue's Clues and Rugrats, the orange tape. Shout out. And you know how you used to rewind it and then press play, rewind it, press play. Okay, but you can only rewind it to so much before it would click, and then all you could do was press play. And you could press pause, take that thing out, put a new movie in, press pause on that, take it out, and that thing would play right from the same spot. I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering it right. It is okay to press pause, but y'all don't press stop on your lives. I'm telling you, someone here, your children, your spouse, your significant other, your family, they will miss you. They will miss you. And going to your grave is not enough for them. They want to hug you. They want to see you again. I want to see you again. So just be encouraged and know that you are loved, you are cared for. Do something nice today for yourself. Do something that you love to do. That's something that I had to get back to. I got in contact with my old loves, like crafting, and I found new loves, my podcast. Doing my hair, just take care of yourself. That'll be its own episode. But take care of you, because you can't take care of other people if you're not taking care of you. I know they say, y'all need to check on your friends. You need to do this. You need to do that. If I'm not in a space where I can even check on myself, how the heck could I check on you? You know what I mean? We just got to be, it has to be a community, a collective thing. We are so quick to point the finger and say, you should have done this. You should have done that. You should have done that. But are you sure you're doing everything that you can do? Check you first and make sure that you're being the you that you can be. And like I said, at the end of the day, the professionals are the professionals, and we just help as best as we can. Can y'all do that for me? But if it's swaying too much to where it becomes an overwhelming sense of, danger that has come upon someone, seek help. There are people that are waiting in the wings to help you. Y'all got me? So I want to leave you with this. Be sure that you like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you're listening on the go, you're listening to Apple Podcasts, you're listening to Spotify, please follow the show and share it with a friend and have them follow too. Because why not let somebody else listen? I don't want to be here alone talking to myself, even though I already am when I'm recording in my office. But I want y'all here too. And just know that I care for you. So be encouraged today. I can't wait to see y'all next week. And I really hope y'all found value in this. Take care. Peace.